Black Widow fans and Marvel fans have waited a long time to see a solo Black Widow movie. Well, now it's here, and I'll let you know what I think right after this. Hey, Outlaw Nation fans, it is the Outlaw John Rocha back with another review for you here on the Outlaw Nation channel. We're going to get into Black Widow. Got a chance to see this thing 3 times before I recorded this review, so I'm excited to talk about it with you all and give you my thoughts about what I liked, what I didn't like, which are small stuff, and what I hope to see from the characters that we have introduced to us here in the Black Widow movie. But before we go forward, just want to remind you, this is the Outlaw Nation, and we'd love to get you to subscribe to the channel down below. Hit that red subscribe button, hit that bell button so you know when we're dropping all the great content that we drop here on the channel. And another thing you can do is be a part of the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/John Rocha. Go and sign up, see all the multiple tiers we got there. We're revamping everything there, so go and take a look again if you haven't looked in a bit and see all the things that we're offering on the Patreon there so you can be part of the Outlaw Nation. Let me tell you something. The Discord is hopping. It is always hopping with conversations, with watch-alongs. Sometimes they're staying up till 4 a.m. talking about the world. Great group of people. And if you want to join me over on Twitch, I'm affiliated on Twitch as well, the Outlaw Nation on Twitch. All right, that's enough jibber jabber. Let's jump into this thing. All right, Black Widow, what can I tell you? As I said, I've seen it 3 times, thoroughly enjoyed it, saw it again last night, literally drove up to LA to hang out with about 15 to 20 of my friends to watch the film again. And it was an incredible experience on screen. The visuals are stunning. The acting is top notch. I enjoyed the story. Yes, are there some beats that feel familiar? Have I seen these kinds of tropes or cliche things before? Yes, but I think there's new and inventive ways that Cate Shortland and the scriptwriters and the creators of this film find their way into these cliches or into these tropes. Espionage, Russians, trained female assassins. You know, we've seen some of that in Red Sparrow. We obviously know that from the story of Black Widow in the comic books. So we got a lot, but what carries it, we got a lot of that rather, but what carries it over the line, what really elevates it above just a cliche film is the performances of everybody involved, starting with Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson is so stellar in this movie, but by the end of the movie, you're saying to yourself, how come this is the first time we're getting a standalone film of Black Widow? This is so good. You know, I'm the kind of person who believes certain things happen for a reason, so maybe all these things needed to happen, so we got ourselves a great Black Widow movie. Remember Black Widow, and Scarlett Johansson spoke about it in the past, recently, about Black Widow's introduction in the past, very much a sexualized object. You know, we've kind of moved past that into the Me Too movement, or we're trying to move past that post-Me Too movement and create more fleshed out approaches to these female characters and having them have their own inner lives, their own lives. They don't depend on, you know, being compared to the men or you know, dependent on the man's storyline. And maybe all of that needed to happen for us to get a really great Black Widow movie, and that's what this is. Absolutely great, very enjoyable, so funny, and of course, along with Scarlett Johansson, Florence Pugh playing her sister Yelena. Florence Pugh is stellar. You know, she's so young and building an incredible resume. She's so relaxed here. She's so interesting here. You want to connect to her. You sense her vulnerability amongst the strength in her ability to just take anyone out at any moment. The vulnerability of a displaced youth who never really had a family other than this family is so potent throughout these interactions when we see Florence Pugh as an adult. Rachel Weisz is fantastic as Melina, their pseudo mom in this film as well. And David Harbour almost steals the movie, to be honest with you. He's so incredibly charming and funny. I don't know, you just feel for him. He's like a big bear. You just want to put your arms around. David Harbour just does an incredible job bringing that kid, the Red Guardian, to life and giving him so much pathos and so many levels to play with, because he is, you know, he's a guy who's constantly being compared to Captain America, and how he navigates that in the movie leads to some really funny moments. But he's also touching and tender as the father figure of this really dysfunctional family. The plot of the film is that basically Scarlett Johansson and Yelena kind of find their way to each other, and they want to take down the Red Room, and it's being run by this Russian operative who's General Dreykov, played by Ray Winstone. He's been running this thing called the Red Room, and it's creating these female assassins who are he's taken these displaced children, or these parentless children, or sometimes paying for these children, removing them from their homes and turning them into assassins. He messes with their minds and chemically alters them to be beholden to him and carry out his will, assassinations and what have you throughout the world. So that's basically the plot, them getting together, fighting each other again, the Red Guardian, Melina, Natasha, and Yelena, to take down General Dreykov and stop the Red Room project overall. This film goes in numerous directions. We go to a number of places: Morocco, Budapest. The cinematography is stellar. The action sequences in the sky are exceptionally beautiful. Some of the composition of the shots, when you're seeing certain touching, tender moments, really does affect you. And overall, I think the look of the film, depending on what a part of the movie you're looking at in terms of what's happening, they're going to the safe house in Budapest, that's a little grungy. They're going to the Red Room, that's more clean and red and black. All of these things, I think the cinematographer Gabriel Beristain, who I got the chance to interview, it's up on the Outlaw Nation channel now if you want to watch that about 10-minute interview. He did an excellent job composing these shots. And the score from Lorne Balfe is just stellar. Really takes you from one sequence to another, one action scene to one really tender scene, or one funny scene. And this is the number one thing that comes through when you're watching the movie. It is very funny. Now, I know Marvel films have their humor, have their sense of humor, have their jokes. This one is uniquely funny, and it's due to the incredible actors and the little things they do when they're not speaking that add humor. For example, when they're sitting around a dinner table and one person is going after the other person for something and the other people chime in. From the inside, it's probably irritating as hell, but from the outside, when you're looking at it, it's funny overall. Oh, and Taskmaster, my word, Taskmaster is done so well here. I mean, sometimes you get these villains in the comics and they don't always translate to live action for whatever reason, but this is not one of those cases. Taskmaster is incredible here. I'm not going to reveal who Taskmaster is. It's a great reveal. Some of you may see it coming, some of you may not see it coming, but it's a great reveal when it happens. But the fighting sequences with Taskmaster are just jaw-dropping and stellar, and the movement sequences, all of it, just really were done. The fight choreography here is just chef's kiss overall. I loved where this went. I really had a great time. Like I said, I've seen it 3 times. I've enjoyed it every single time, taken more and appreciating more and more of the performances, of the direction here from Cate Shortland. And yeah, deserves a lot of credit, Cate Shortland does, for the look of this film, for the pacing of this film, for what she was able to get out of the performers in this film, and the general way that this film kind of goes from one thing to another, one thing to another. And could you ding it for a couple of things? Yeah, you could ding it for how Natasha seems to be able to walk through certain big cities when she's on the run, because this is happening after Captain America Civil War, when she's a wanted fugitive, and no one seems to notice, no one seems to call it out, no one seems to alert the authorities or anything like that. That's a little bit of a suspension of disbelief that you have to give this film in certain sequences. There's one moment in a gas station where they're blatantly her and Yelena are having a very blatant, open conversation about the fact that they're assassins, and the fact that gas station clerk could care less is pretty shocking. So there are certain things you can ding it on for that, but I think overall the film really, really works. The only thing that I think I'm sad about is that there's not going to be another Scarlett Johansson Black Widow standalone film, because by the end, you're just blown away by what they're able to do here, what she's able to do here, the ease and the comfortability she has with the role now. And there's some really great acting moments here from Scarlett Johansson, whether they're simple back and forths with a friend of hers who's getting her equipment, or she's having these really tense emotional back and forths with her family, or the really tense emotional battles, or the more the mental battles that she's having with Ray Winstone in that sequence. So there's a lot here to really savor and enjoy from Scarlett Johansson's performance. And as I said, it's just a shame we're not going to get more of it. There is a post-credit scene, so stick around for that. And it does tie in to where we're going next in the Marvel Universe into Phase 4, so just be aware of that. All right, that's my review for Black Widow. Let me know what you thought of the movie and what you thought of this review down below in the comments section. Please make sure to hit the like as well on this video and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell button so you know when we're dropping all the content here. Follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram and on Twitch, The Outlaw Nation. Follow me there on Twitch as well. And join our Patreon. Patreon.com/John Rocha. So much going on there in the Patreon. New shows coming from there, and of course, new benefits as well coming from the Patreon. Now, Black Widow is out now in theaters and on Disney Plus Premier Access. So go and enjoy this thing, and we'll talk to you next time on another brand new review from the Outlaw Nation. I'm John Rocha. Take care.